the financial policy and budget statement of the Government of Ghana for the year ending 31st December 2016. Again, Right Honorable Speaker, the same authority of His Excellency and in accordance with Article 179 of the 1992 Constitution, permit me to present the budget statement and economic policy for the year 2016 to this August House. Mr. Speaker, in accordance with Section 48 of the Petroleum Revenue Management Act 2011, Act 815, I also submit the 2015 annual report on the utilization of the petroleum funds to this August House. Mr. Speaker, this presentation is an abridged version of the 2016 budget statement, and I would like to request the Hansard Department to capture the entire budget statement and economic policy. Mr. Speaker, in 2012, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President, was elected as President for his first 4-year mandate to lead our dear country. Under his able leadership, the country has been working tirelessly to transform the economy. We are focused on improving the well-being of Ghanaians by honoring the pledges we made to the good people of Ghana in the 2012 manifesto of the National Democratic Congress. Mr. Speaker, notwithstanding the major shocks to the economy in the last 3 years, government has remained steadfast in pursuing the economic vision of leading the country through a transformational agenda to consolidate our middle-income country status. The shocks include disruption in gas supply for 2.5 years and the simultaneous fall in cocoa, gold, and oil prices. We have also remained resolute in our commitment to correcting the major budget overruns which occurred at the end of the 2012 fiscal year. We are implementing several programs to secure the bright medium-term prospects for the economy, notably through substantial investments in the oil and gas sector, among others. Mr. Speaker, 2016 is significant in many respects. The country will go through presidential and parliamentary elections. Let me assure this House and the nation that the Electoral Commission and other governance institutions will be adequately resourced to ensure the conduct of free, fair, and transparent elections. Mr. Speaker, let there be no doubt. Mr. Speaker, let there be no doubt. The economy benefits substantially from our peaceful and acclaimed elections. Despite being an election year, let me also reiterate President Mahama's assurance of sustaining fiscal discipline whilst investing prudently in infrastructure and social development. We will resist the temptation of election year overspending. Mr. Speaker, the post-hope forum held in Takoradi was successful. In September, for the first time in decades, governments and its social partners, notably organized labor and the association, organized labor and the Ghana Employers Association, led by their Secretary General and Presidents respectively, concluded the national minimum wage and public sector wage negotiations for the 2016 fiscal year ahead of the budget. The essence of this remarkable achievement, Mr. Speaker, is that it avoids any compensation-related slippages or overruns that would compromise our fiscal consolidation program. It is also to shift the focus of the single spine pay policy as to aspects of productivity and improve processes. Mr. Speaker, permit me on behalf of the President and the government to express our profound appreciation to this august House for its cooperation and support in the management of the economy. The House demonstrated true partnership in the discharge of its legislative and oversight functions, including admitting several critical and urgent statements and bills on this floor. Mr. Speaker, the vision and commitment of Ghana over the medium term is to build a sustainable, prosperous, and equitable society. In line with our social democratic agenda, these are in line with our social democratic agenda. The vision is anchored on the thematic areas of the Ghana Shared Growth and Development Agenda 2014 to 2017, and particularly on the government's priority of putting people first, building a strong and resilient economy, expanding infrastructure, and ensuring transparent and accountable governance as expatiated in the State of the Nation address. Mr. Speaker, in our determination to transform the economy, we draw lessons from past experiences of our country's economic journey, including some paradoxes. Despite numerous and unexpected setbacks, the country has experienced only positive growth over the last 30 years. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, the declaration of HIPC status generated intense debate, and many believe till today that it could have been avoided with bold measures. Yet, it provided us with fiscal space to help our path to positive growth. In contrast with the HIPC experience, it is relieving for this government to be leading the development agenda that has restored our pride of place among the African rising and Renaissance nations. The recent setbacks from commodity price shocks did not make us reverse course on our consolidation path, even as it reminded us of our vulnerability in transitioning to a middle-income country status. Mr. Speaker, finally, we are returning to another growth path, and our fiscal performance so far clearly shows that we can plan to manage and reverse periodic setbacks and take account of opportunities at the same time, even as they occur. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, our resolve is to manage the transition, setbacks, and paradoxes with perseverance and effective planning. Consequently, we now see brighter prospects ahead, mainly from the investments that we have been making in the energy and other sectors of the economy. Mr. Speaker, permit me to recount some of our macroeconomic successes since we began the program of fiscal consolidation under our homegrown policies and later the IMF program. In so doing, however, not even the successful first and second reviews under the IMF program and resultant renewal of confidence in the economy will make us complacent. First, there are clear signs that our consolidation efforts are yielding positive results, making the economy more efficient. Accordingly, the Ghana Statistical Service estimates that GDP will grow at 4.1% at the end of 2015 compared to the 3.5% initially projected. The World Bank, IMF, and others estimate future growth above 7%. Secondly, as a result of good revenue performance including GRA's compliance efforts, containment of overruns in the wage bill and other spending, as well as withdrawal of energy-related subsidy, except those funded through the cross-subsidy system. Our fiscal consolidation program is on course, with a deficit set to be on target at 7.3%. Mr. Speaker, for the first time in many years, the domestic primary balance in the first half of 2015 achieved a surplus equivalent to 2.8% of GDP, whilst the budget deficit was down to 2.3% of GDP, at the same level as attained a decade ago. The current account deficit as a percentage of this GDP has stabilized, whilst the foreign reserve position is significantly improving. In line with government's medium-term strategy and debt management policies, the pace at which we have been accumulating public debt as a percentage of GDP has slowed down in the first half of the year, and this is demonstrated clearly on the chart. This is partly due to the fact that after some initial implementation difficulties, we are now on course to making the proceeds from commercial and quasi-commercial projects pay fully or partially for the loans that finance them. This will stop the unsustainable habit of relying on the taxpayer to pay for all the nation's debt service commitments. In October this year, we issued our fourth sovereign bond, which was oversubscribed by $1 billion. The 15-year tenor, Mr. Speaker, let me emphasize that the 15-year tenor of the bond is the first by any sub-Saharan African country besides South Africa. In this instance, Ghana is also leading its contemporaries in using a guarantee instrument that the World Bank plans to use to create an asset class for market access by middle-income countries.